Welcome to a really panicked episode of Alive on One because everyone left me and no one's responding to me. So I grabbed John. So here's John.
Hey, everybody.
We're going to talk about spoilers. I got announced new shit that came out. Kind of do an episode so something actually comes out this week is the idea. So John, how have you been?
I've been doing good.
Yeah.
I've been messing around, continuing to mess around with Avengers. And I listened to the Spider-Foes episode. So, of course, now that's dinging in the back of my head.
I know you're the one that kind of was really on it before I would say. And I was just like, yeah, sure, I'm going to go back to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was like, so I fed into him bleeding this. Now he's feeding me, going like, ooh, yeah, Spider-Foes does seem like a lot of fun.
But it is also funny because it was like I was playing Avengers and then you started playing Avengers. So we're just going to keep following each other.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's true. Because didn't I also pick up Defenders because of you? Not Defenders,
No.
Shield, right? The Namor leadership.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I messed around with Namor for a little while because I was just like, oh, this seems really cool. Yeah. I like the idea of this gunline stuff. And then they changed the Crisis, and I was like, well, that's not for me anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? So we're going to keep the trend going.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I played you with that Spider-Foes list. I played another guy at our local shop last week. Quite liked it. I feel like Carnage is quite good.
Yes, I think Carnage is quite good, especially with Avengers kind of pushing her forward. I think, as you kind of pointed out, he's great into things like the Hulk, and even if I hit like Steve back, if I have Steve and Hulk standing next to each other, you can kind of just reposition people with that tactics card and set it up in a way that you can absolutely just go for that obliteration turn.
Yeah,
especially with what's the Spider-Foes call or Surprise Webhead?
Yeah, for the extra hits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess we'll say that was my 11-1 story from this last week. It's not really an 11-1. It was just that Carnage punched your Hulk, and he had basically 1 health left before I did the Spider-Foe reroll, and then I did the Spider-Foe reroll, and he died. So it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing. I was definitely like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting game because I put custom upgrades onto Hulk, so my Carnage would roll 7 dice against him as a defense. And yeah, as you said, it felt pretty good. And then, I guess you're right. I could always Carnage rules cap out of there if I really had to.
Yeah, or bring Hulk. I more thought of bringing Hulk obviously closer.
Oh, right? Yeah, that'd probably make more sense.
Just put Hulk up against you, and then that because it's range 3 for your attack, so you can really push me away in a good position. That works better.
Yeah, I like the list a lot. I like Carnage quite a bit. I mean, that 8 health is surprisingly really good. And I even think the 1 defense dice can be your advantage sometimes because, like, if anybody that just rolled like a normal 5-die attack into him, he just generates a shit ton of power. And so then you're like, all right, cool. Now I have 6 power on Carnage. I can actually do a lot. So I think that was kind of helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think if it's all about being smart with your positioning, I think it's a good character that you hold back until the very end, and then you choose your positioning based on what you're across the board from. Obviously, as you've talked about, you need to get some more games in with him. But as you did in our game, you were up against Avengers. I had Shang-Chi, but you put him on the opposite side of Shang-Chi and avoided Shang-Chi completely. And I think at the end, I got 1 attack off into Carnage and Shang-Chi. So it really didn't make, like, not having those dice was just like, oh, well, not a big deal.
Yeah, because it was also funny. There was a thought process you had, I think, where you're thinking about charging Shang over to punch Carnage, but I had a Mysteria and Electro with power. So if you try to charge over, I would just go zap zap. And he was already low on health. So I was like, oh, that kind of prevents that rotation.
Yeah. Shang-Chi had a great opener and was doing fine on that side, but unfortunately with Carnage being able to put out 7 dice attacks and then, of course, buffing one of those with his ability, it just was just like, well, Hulk's just going to get eaten alive if I let this kind of stand, essentially.
Yeah, that was a fun game. It was very different. Not a usual game I play.
Yeah, because that was Fisk too, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was.
So I was not like ready for like that. I was just like, oof, okay, this was not how I wanted to play this.
It was Fisk and Spider Infected, which is a combination I have never done before. I thought that was a very strange combo.
That's right, because Cap got pushed by Spider Infected turn 1. Oh my gosh, that was just so crazy.
Yeah, to break your bubble. Yeah, I like that. I like that mission. I mean, as Spider-Foes, as long as Carnage doesn't have it, because I feel like if Carnage picks up a Spider-Foe and gets pushed, that's not great.
Bad. Yeah, absolutely.
probably some play around there. You got any other fun Alive On stories?
I don't remember if it was Alive on One. It was really close. It was a Luke Cage in my TTS league, and he did Heroes for Hire, and he ended up living, but I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. But he Hero for Hires off of Ultron. Yes, it was my Cap 1 list. Luke Cage Hero for Hiring, a shot from. Oh, it might have actually been the other Luke Cage. Yeah, I think he was spendering. Yes, because he wanted to throw Ultron into Doctor Strange. No, that's right. I was playing Defenders. Yes, Doctor Strange, Ultron, Luke Cage, and Shang-Chi for 17. And he was gonna do his spender into Ultron to throw him into Doctor Strange. And I intercepted it with Luke Cage, who lived. Got thrown, which was fine. I was just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But then I got to counter throw him, so he was completely out of range for anything else.
Nice.
Yeah.
You still like an Ultron? I know that's been a character that you've been a bit on recently.
I like the idea of him. I feel like he's a really good character into things like Shang-Chi. I think
he's super good into him, yeah.
Yeah, like he works well. His bots work well with Doctor Strange. His abilities work well with Steve One. Especially the being able to advance characters, because some characters obviously can't get pushed. You have other stuff that kind of like prevents being thrown, like terrain can get in the way, all of that stuff. But if you can advance someone,
yeah,
I mean, you could just set him wherever you want.
His bow is just within range 3, so I mean, if you really want to kill a Shang-Chi, you could bow that Shang-Chi out of range 3 and then shoot him twice.
I have done that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, yeah, the range 4 attacks. I mean, poison and bleed. If you're with Strange, it's a hex as well. And then his spender is a guaranteed size 4 throw.
Yeah, pretty good.
So before damage is dealt. On top of that.
And he's got grunts.
And he has grunts that explode and have fun.
Yeah.
But
he's a good example. Sorry to cut you off. He's a good example of a character that's like maybe people don't talk about that much, but I do think he still has quite a bit of play.
Yeah, ever since they took away the Glory to Ultron from him, I think that was called
Age of Ultron.
Thank you. Ever since they took away, people kind of died off for him, but I think he's still got a good utility. He's got a lot of abilities built in, and I mean, it's range 4, 6 dice. It hits pretty hard.
Yeah, and it really is. It's energy too. So it's a good attack type too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess his only like negative would be he is maybe. I mean, he's 8/6. He's like maybe a little bit squishy because he doesn't have any like reduced damage or anything like that. But and he also doesn't have any like per se action economy. But I still think he can play on that fairly well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think of the action economy again, going back to that beam, right? Like even if you don't have the action economy, being able to advance someone away on like you have to move up and fire your blasters off or something like that. But being able to just send someone off a point so that you can take it can be game winning in certain instances. That's why Heimdall is partly in there for both Hulk and Ultron, is just giving that reposition ability.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I like him. I keep playing him. Maybe I put him in Spider Fizz. I'm not doing that. Let's be real. I don't think he really fits that playstyle. No, probably not. All right, so hobby catch-up stuff. I got nothing super cool. I'm painting terrain, basically, because I've realized standoff is kind of close, and I should get tables painted for that. So I've painted more Dracula terrain, got a blood fountain now. Almost done with that, and then I'll start moving on to cosmic terrain, I think. Probably won't paint any actual characters for a while because I'm going to try to get some terrain painted up for that event. Have you got anything back yet? I know you do commission painting. Have you painted yourself anything?
I'm still working on Logan and Sabretooth from the big box.
Nice.
So the Sabretooth is upstairs. I also have Scarlet Spider built. Along with Gwenom. So those are the four that I'm kind of like in my background once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I am working my way up to 40 in those commission prices. I love them, but they are expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm working my way up of saving up for that, and then I have my girlfriend got me Hulkbuster and She-Hulk.
Nice.
For my birthday. And so those will definitely be ones that I want to get sent out.
Speaking of Hulkbuster, he was a character I was thinking about the other day because I played him against Kenny. When we were just doing a couple of fun pickup games. And that is a character, I feel like he feels old. He feels like his rules quite aren't there because there's like a lot of little things that you wish he would just do differently because it gets really frustrating.
Yep. Nope. Absolutely.
Like I wish his damage reduction was like split into like with the campy push, but just split into two different powers because it's really frustrating to like spend power on damage reduction when you get targeted by an attack and then the attack does no damage. You're like, cool, fuck me, I guess.
Yep. Or they're like some kind of I was thinking about this earlier because we were watching the Marvel movies last year, but for some reason this came to mind of Hulkbuster getting some kind of repair, either a tactics card,
that'd be cool, or
like something that like because that's the whole thing with the Hulkbuster is like he gets to just keep rebuilding pieces, and so like either a tactics card or something else that lets him. Boom, let's go together. Like I know that's the idea of him getting kicked out and then gets to rebuild, but like come on.
Ken and I were talking about like this game is so fast scoring now. Like I can't imagine a world like, unless he dies turn 1 for some fucking weird reason where you have enough time to even reassemble to gain that power back.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think the only way that ever would become a thing, and it would be actually be fun, is if they remove the wild trigger on his rapid fire. Because I don't think like if you're gonna make a 2/2/3 character with 5 health, let him have
let him have it.
Let him have the rapid fire so that yes, he's getting 4 power a turn. So there's or 5 power a turn, so that in 2 turns, he can go back in.
So like maybe turn 5 or 6, he can go back in.
Yeah, exactly. If he's still alive and everything else has gone perfectly well.
It also makes you realize when you're playing this character that like hit and run is not the same as Gamma Leap, right? And just like not being able to like move forward and do stuff, it feels so bad to take an actual move action to do an attack.
Yep. Nope.
With him.
Absolutely. Yeah. If there was some other way to do that, some like having the 2 power to just and also not being charged either.
Oh yeah.
Because the thing about it is you can't. You can't charge in like Steve 1. You'd think like, oh great, this is perfect. Yeah, it's nice, but you can't really like charge in with them because you're like you have to move up that first action, and like you said, it's not that great if no one's in range to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. But the model looks fucking cool.
The model looks awesome, and
it's been like a desk piece of mine where it just sits on my desk ever since I've gotten it. I don't even ever bring it to game nights, but it just sits on my desk.
The funny part is, so the reason I was thinking about Hulkbuster was because at certain points I have thought about dropping Hulk for Hulkbuster in this Avengers list. Now, obviously, it doesn't work as well with Defenders mixed in, but the idea being with that of just being like, I have this kind of another control piece, right? I love Hulk to death, but I like Hulkbuster's controls.
Speaking of when I almost brought him, you were in the chat. Was the Becky event we went to? I thought I threw the idea of bringing Hulkbuster to go into Midnight Suns so that you could shoot energy attacks and push them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but I probably wouldn't have liked that. Let's be real.
It can be good and bad. And again, like you said, it is an older model, and his card really reflects that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of improvements that could be made.
Yes, at least.
You know what we do? Hulkbuster, when he flips, he keeps all his power and other stuff, but it takes an action to get back in the Hulkbuster.
Takes an action or takes a whole turn?
Or is it a whole turn? 2 actions. The first printed 2 double action. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Because then it's also like, or like you say, when he gets flipped, he gets staggered. No, because he has to flip his cards. A daze mechanic. I don't know. Someone will figure that out.
Anyways, yeah, someone will figure this out. One day they'll fix him, and then we'll be like, "Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that."
Is he in the repack list coming up? Let's see. Q3 2026. So maybe in a year we'll get a new Hulkbuster.
In a year we'll get a new Hulkbuster. And speaking of that, we got the. I don't know if we want to jump down there, but the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
And the new She-Hulk's talking about new characters like that. That got me excited. I love seeing Hulks.
Let's shout out local events before we jump down there. But we'll do that. So yeah, just to run through these real quick. Summer Slaughter down in New Jersey. I think that's like more of a Gen community kind of one. With Will from GameStore Guardians and stuff is running that August 16th to 17th. It's run by the Wicked Dicey guys who do Ironweld and Everwinter, so good event. Our next event up in Maine at Crossroads is going to be a champion draft. So you bring your own leader, but then you draft the rest of your 9 characters. And depending on the amount of precipitation, the fuck am I talking about? Participation in the event, you're not going to be able to draft those characters again. So like, there's a chance it could be Bill can only be used once or picked once, and then that's it. That's going to be September 6th at Crossroads Games. Crossroad Games. Oh, speaking of that, is the trophy at Crossroads for Becky?
No.
No, we should do that
because I did not bring it with me when I went down and played with you guys.
Yeah, we should do that. So I talked to Brendan; he's all fine with it being put there.
Okay, yeah. I think I remember you telling me that. I just have forgot to bring it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
October 17th and 19th is Fall Retreat. That's a 3-man teams event right outside of Boston, or actually, it's not outside of Boston. It's in Western Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I think it's in Massachusetts. That's correct.
Yeah, you and Bork are probably gonna be on a team if you can find a third person. Because
we're figuring that one out.
And then right after that, WC another team tournament. Oh, I guess before that I did the order wrong. You're going to LVO. This is your first time going to LVO, right?
Yes, sir. Never been to Vegas either. So that's a whole trip, all dedicated to just figuring stuff out.
Have fun, but not too much fun.
Thanks.
Also, make your wallet ready because you're going to spend a lot of money, sadly.
I
feel like that is that city. So you spend a crap ton of money there.
Good to know.
Yeah. It was really cool going into, when I went to LV, I went for 40K back when I played 40K. The 40K event space, because it's about 1,000 players of 40K, is really cool to walk into because it is fucking huge.
That's absolutely wild.
And a really good vendor hall is there as well, so it will be fun.
Nice. I'm super excited. I think I'm set up. I've already bought my locker and all of those extra things because I was just like, I want to just have a good time and not be stressed while there. Great idea.
Well, good. Have fun. I know who I'll be cheering for because
thank you, sir.
Be streamed by Professional Casual or the Taco Truck guys.
Yeah, I got to make it on. I still don't think I've ever been streamed. I don't think I've done a professional schedule before.
Have you not?
I think every single time when we did Ironweld or Everwinter, like when I've gotten close, I've always been the one that was not on screen.
Oh, we'll get you on. We'll get you on eventually.
Mm-hmm. I just gotta make it to the finals. That's a guarantee.
And if not, you won your ticket for Adepticon, so then you have a chance at Adepticon too.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So then mid-October is WTC. Jen is traveling to Denmark for that, so make sure to cheer on Jen for that. Standoff is our big main event. It's a big 2-day event up in Maine. Expanded a lot as we have a kill team system and Age of Sigmar system going now at Standoff, which is new this year, along with 40K at MCP. So really excited how much it's grown. A little worried about all the technical stuff and getting that down, but I'll do it. I gotta go make the event page, all that fun stuff. I have the go ahead to do that, so I'll probably be doing that probably tomorrow when I have off. I'll slide down and make the Longshank page, and it's gonna be like last year where like you buy your ticket through BCP because that's where the way the money is funneled into the store owner, and then we'll do a Longshanks after that or along with that for actual round pairings. Yep. And then December 5th through 7th, kind of end off the year, is Everwinter down in Boston again. It's in downtown Boston again, so make sure to go because golly, that thing was huge last year. I was thinking back on it. I think probably the toughest tournament I've ever been in, I would say.
Yeah, because the rounds. Yeah, the rounds were definitely super tough. That was Store 2 meta, right?
Yeah, because it was 5 rounds. I played DeLuca and Schmid. Yep. And I remember playing Schmid. I was like, I'm fucking tired. That was a rough game. But yeah, it's kind of a fun thing of it. I gotta say, it's probably the most challenging event I've ever been to.
Yeah, Nope. I had a bunch of people that I was just like, holy cow, this was just a grinder go through.
Yeah, it was. It was cool though. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's all our upcoming events for the rest of the year. So yeah, let's jump into new stuff and talk about kind of new stuff and thoughts and speculations for that. So yeah, we got GenCon. We got spoilers for Hulk stuff, right? So there's a Red Hulk. I saw a post, or there was Smid talked about not Smid, Jesus Christ, Will Schick talked about a couple of things. We know that Red Hulk is not Sixth Threat. And it said She-Hulk is spectacular, I think it was, or something like that. And then there was a hint at maybe like a Hulk faction with leader. So that sounds exciting, but I was thinking about that. If that happens, how the fuck do you balance that?
As far as like having
multiple Hulks,
yeah,
list.
I mean, I assume that's the whole point of the Hulk faction, right? Like, it's got to be something that it can't be overpowered.
Yeah,
like if you make that anything that is super strong, it's gonna just snap the system. But I mean, the downside of course, having multiple Hulks in your list is going to be the fact that you have a very low model count. So if you're playing against something like Spider Infected, you need to pull your wedding party or your Fisk in order to get there. So
yeah, and I was wondering that because it's gonna be a low model count. So do they make some sort of kind of like you can play secures better or something like that because you're not going to have as many models? Can you hold multiple extracts even if it says you can't or anything like that? And then I'm also like, I hope that doesn't happen because that sounds really annoying.
I hope the extract part of that doesn't happen. I could be fine with like a criminals type leadership of counting as two. Or something that like says your characters are, oh my gosh, maybe that's not
always healthy.
I was gonna say not always healthy, but immune to stagger, and I was like, wait a minute, nope, I don't like that.
Don't do that.
That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely awful.
All kaiju's immune to stagger.
Yeah. If your character is 6th threat or more and it is immune to stagger, it's like, no. But I could see them doing something like that, right? Like you were seeing that with Strange, where it's if 5 threat or greater does this thing, or automatically does this thing. So I could see a situation where they put it in that way, but not make it so blatant that it's unstoppable. Yeah, essentially.
And maybe that's the balance. Is like you have a really low model count, you're running like 2, 3, 4 wide, but that's kind of like the give and pull where like you do stuff. I don't know, better in some way. But
too wide. All right, I want to.
Yeah, maybe not too wide. Maybe not that. It's an 8th threat Hulk or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. He said it wasn't 6th threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm excited. And then we also saw a leader in there as well, which I don't know a ton about the comics. I don't know that, but I do like recognize and have heard about leader.
Yeah.
And I've heard how he's that master tactician. He knows everything. He can figure it out.
Well, he was in the newest Captain America movie, right?
Yeah, he was in the new Captain America movie, but that's my first real introduction. Or
yeah, same.
I guess maybe he was technically is he the because he was in the original Hulk movie too, or one of the originals.
You saw Hulk's blood fall onto him.
Yeah, into his brain.
Yeah. So technically, but not really. I also saw him lovingly referred to as Fivehead, which made me laugh. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I just don't know how you have a faction of a bunch of Hulks and high threat models without it being silly.
I mean, it might be, right? Like,
it might be.
There's factions now that are just there to be kind of just silly. Like you don't see Sentinels running around yet. I think of Winter Guard, truthfully, right now. It is in his common. Same thing with we saw for a little while Legions of the Lost and the Draculus playing around, and the same thing Dark Dimension even. Yeah. We'll see it splash. We'll see that happen once in a while, but it is kind of like a fun list.
Yeah.
It's there to be entertaining. It's there to be cool. But in the end of it all, it's
not to be hyper competitive.
Yeah, hyper competitive. And does everything need to be hyper competitive?
That's true. It doesn't. That's a good point.
Black Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
When's the
like,
last time you saw Black Order list?
What if like Red Hulk is like a 4 threat, right?
Oh,
It'd be weird, but like, what if he's like a lower threat and he's not like a big 6 threat Hulk?
Yeah.
Or even like, I mean, you could do 5 threat like Abomination, but what if they just go 4 threat with him? Or what if the new She-Hulk is 5 threat or something like that? So maybe it gives him like more flexibility.
I would see She-Hulk being 5 threat. I feel like Red Hulk is gotta be. I don't know. I see him either if he's a lower threat, he's going to be doing damage to himself, kind of like that he's burning up type of thing.
That'd be fitting. I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, or it's the opposite where he is just 7, 8 threat. Because if my memory serves me right, isn't Red Hulk like technically he could be stronger than the Hulk, but he just burns himself out?
Maybe. I don't know much about him, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I've read like one comic with him in it. It was an Agent Venom comic where Vegas got taken over by Mephisto and he was in it, but he seemed just kind of like Hulk. He didn't seem very different.
Okay, yeah. I think I watched in preparation for the Captain America movie, I watched a little bit of that Red Hulk lore videos online, and I thought that's what I remember, but someone can correct me in the comments if that's right or wrong there.
Not. Mm-hmm. And then like a new She-Hulk, are you kind of bummed?
Yes.
Like I wish they would have just made the She-Hulk we have now a little bit better, but
I'm not bummed. I'm truthfully not bummed. I think I'm interested to see what they're going for with this, because with this, remember, like we're seeing this showcase of, yes, we're seeing the Hulks and the leaders and things like that, and obviously people talking about like a Hulk faction with all of that. But my actual question is like, does she need a leadership? Maybe similar to what they've done with other factions, do they drop in an A-Force leader card, leadership on a tactics card, and then that way you can play A-Force, but you don't have to have the She-Hulks.
That would open A-Force so wide. That would be great.
Yeah, and I think it would make it the same thing with like Inhumans with Medusa. When they drop these tactics cards for these characters or for these factions, that opens it up. I feel like it creates this brand new environment of thinking. When we had Namor drop, everyone started thinking of like, oh, what can I do? I can do this now. I can do this now. I can do this now. Like you still were using Nick Fury. We're still utilizing him for it, but your dynamic of how you played the team changed.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really cool if they did something like that. Or even, because it could be like a leadership card that drops onto like Cosmic Carol or something like that, like a different A-Force character.
Yeah, exactly. It could just be a different A-Force character, but but the leadership and how it functions obviously would probably be different, and that would change of what is your approach, right?
Yeah,
you're no longer saying, okay, I need special delivery, I need to have She-Hulk, so I need to have flyers to make this worth it, all of this stuff. Now you can start changing your archetype within the faction.
Hell yeah. That'd be cool. I know, maybe they like surprise drop them too, is what I was wondering. So like, is this going to be like a Q4 thing because these are all painted models, or have these been models they've had on like the pipeline ready to go for a year or something like that, and they're just waiting?
And then it's going to be something like, are you thinking Q4 this year? That'll be because technically they haven't announced any Q4 stuff for this year. So you're thinking maybe they drop it. This is the Christmas surprise type of thing.
Yeah, that'd be great, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. I'd absolutely 100% be up for that.
I think they do have a Q4. Cool. They have Blue, Marvel, and Spectrum is technically Q4 of this year.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's not on the timeline thing, but if you like look at the slides that were released in Adepticon, it has a Q4.
That's right, because we still haven't seen cards for them, like, or any teasers. We actually, speaking of that, we haven't seen cards for Ronin and Tigra. I know, right? Like stuff.
Part of me is wondering, have these things been delayed because of tariffs and trade war stuff?
I hope not.
I wouldn't be surprised because, we're in Q3 right now, right? I'm not crazy?
Yes.
It's in Q3 and started in July? Yeah.
Yeah, it started in July, August, September, and then you have October, November, December, yes.
Because it was supposed to be Q3, it was supposed to be, like the Ronin Tigra and Echo, and then also the Spider-Verse boxes were supposed to be coming out then, and then also Blue Marvel Spectrum was supposed to come out this year, and then we also have the starter kit. So like there's quite a bit left to come out still.
Yeah, and so you're thinking that the tariffs and everything else have kind of kicked that back a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised because I know the Brotherhood block got pushed from Q2 to Q3, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's not till later. But I think also a good thing is Dallas Kemp was at GenCon. He's the art director for Atomic Mass and MCP. He was there painting the new Spider-Verse box, right? So that tells you that hopefully they should be coming out, soon.
Relatively soon, yeah.
And then get ready for our new Overlords, Web Warriors again.
Speaking on the new like Spider-Verse boxes and things like that, are you excited? I think we talked about this in the last call I was on with all of you. Prowler. Since you're picking up Spider Foes, are you kind of like, ooh, yeah, I got this new character coming?
I mean, I hope so. Let's be real. Let's be real. Hope he's good. The model looks really cool, so it would be nice if he was good. I mean, like you fit that. Honestly, if he's on a small base, it looks like.
Yeah, I think the last time they showed him, it looked like they were leaning on a small base for him.
Model right now. So if he's a long move, small base in Spider Foes, that'd be fucking great.
Ooh, yeah, a long mover in Spider Foes. There you go.
That help. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I would love to see it. Honestly, realistically, what I'm maybe a little bit more excited for is if Echo or Ronin get into Shield, or maybe even Tigre. I think Tigre in the comics has some history with Shield. That would be excited for new Shield models because I could always go back there. Like the filthy Shield player I am.
I was gonna say, it's like, oh yeah, I've left Shield. I'm trying Avengers. I'm trying Spider Foes. Going back to my roots.
As soon as new Shield
by the way, I'm gonna go Shield. Yeah,
yeah. You know me.
Yeah, and actually, the long move, small base would make it very interesting for him. So,
but I'm excited for Webs. Hopefully, they have a new, not as annoying to play against playstyle. Would be really fun to see because I do love seeing them on the board. They're really fun models.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think the idea of a Spider-Verse faction for me is the most exciting part of that, of seeing what angle they go at that. Obviously, we haven't seen any kind of leadership around that, but the box itself, supposedly, it's written as Spider-Verse characters. The Spider-Verse faction, like it doesn't say Spiders, Web Warriors, it says Spider-Verse. So
that's right, yeah, because you sent the back of the box actually from that was kind of the description of it, and you're right. I talked about more of like a not so much a Web Warrior faction.
Yep. There was a German website that kind of released a little bit there, so it sounds more like a Spider-Verse faction, which would kind of open up all of these Spider-Ham, Spider-Noir, Spider 2099, like all of those fit into that Spider-Verse realm. So you could make a small faction out of that.
Yeah, you're right, because it says this character pack adds 3 new Spider-Verse affiliation characters. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Have you seen the people talking about, like, what if a Spider-Verse box lets you bring in, like, multiples of the same identity?
Ooh,
so, like, multiple Peter Parkers?
I haven't heard that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, could you talk about, like, if that was able to be splashed into, like, other factions? Like, what a way to break the goddamn game. Can you imagine having...
I gotta think that there's gotta be something that restricts it to, like, Web Warriors.
Yeah, or just Peter Parker.
Yeah, Parker and Miles and like certain that would be such a specific way of writing it if they did something like that.
I was thinking about when someone was talking about it, I forget which podcast I was listening to that people were it was GameStore Guardians, they're talking about King T and stuff like that. I was like, can you imagine King T with under Black Panther 1 leadership and both those characters on the board at the same time?
Oh,
how fucking dirty that would be.
You know what? I could see them doing is if a Spider-Verse character has an alter ego, then you can bring like that alter ego as well.
So like Spectacular Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if
they're
both
is really good.
Yeah, it will not the Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles, right?
Yeah.
Like just having the two of them together. Like I don't even have to see Ultimate Spider-Man. I'd probably be like, yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, it's probably real good. I don't think they need that. Let's be real.
You know what? You guys were talking about how like Web Warriors aren't around anymore, and it's just like that's still the faction that terrifies me.
Yeah, same.
And like that keeps me up at every tournament of like, oh my gosh, I gotta go into Web Warriors. Here we go.
That's what was funny. Like when I played, not Matt Alex at Ironwell, the other Webs player. I forget his name. It's on my head. I played him round 2, and I just went so hyper aggressive to be like, I gotta push really hard, and then I probably went a little too much, and I felt kind of bad because I ended up dropping characters turn 1. I was like, all right,
oh no,
I'm doing this. I did the Hulk move Gamma Leap Avengers Assemble onto his back infinity point, and then punched a Ghost Spider, pushed off the edge, and then gained power to pick up and throw somebody else across, and I ended up dazing Ghost Spider.
I just looked at that score.
With them, you have to. Like, you can't just sit back and like, oh, I'm going to play parody. They'll just fucking wipe your face off.
Yeah, no, 100%. They will destroy you completely.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, the funny part is, even when you do that and go for that hyper-aggression, it doesn't mean it's going to work. It can just backfire and completely, like, if you overextend, you're like, I got this, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, I'm behind now.
Yeah, or they just rotate onto your points, and you're like, okay, we're on opposite sides of the board now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, they're great characters, like theme-wise, look-wise, so I am excited for them. Maybe I'll play them. Probably won't, but maybe.
I think they could be a lot of fun characters. I look forward to seeing what they do. I'm excited most of all for Ronin right now and Tigra. Mm-hmm. I think both of those models are really cool. I love the idea of the Ronin character. So I'm really interested to see if I can make them kind of filter in with what I'm playing around, whether it's Avengers or whether it's something else in the future.
Speaking of these characters, when I was at Adepticon during where they got announced, I was sitting next to Brian, which happy birthday, Brian. And they had talked about these characters have been like done and produced since I think 2022 or 2023 or something like that. And I remember Brian being like, God, I hope they're not as pain in the ass to assemble as the old models are. So like, remember old school like Shuri? I was like, oh, that's true. Hopefully they're better than
oh, Jesus.
That would suck.
Yep.
Like Echo's got 4 parts to her head for some reason.
Yeah, but hopefully that's the kind of thing where they can kind of like take a step back and like say like, hey, can we reprint this? Like, let's change how we made choices around that.
Maybe the models are designed, but not the actual like how it's produced yet. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the character has been designed type of situation.
Yeah, but like the actual model kit's not done yet.
Yep. That would make sense.
That would be really funny. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those characters too. Even just Ronin. I think Ronin looks really cool.
And Spider-Ham, of course.
And Spider-Ham.
You can't feel left Spider-Ham.
I don't think Spider-Ham is going to be like super impactful.
I think it's going to be one of those things that he could either completely just be destructive in what he can do because he's got the web oink and he's got the range force shock, he's got damage reduction. Like, yes, he's only got 3 health. But it's one of those things he can be that annoying 2 threat.
Yeah.
That is just going to be in the background, just annoying the heck out of people.
Yeah. And you're not going to want to like attack him because he's just a 2 threat.
Yeah.
And you just kind of hope that his randomness doesn't hurt you.
Yes, exactly. Because he gets to reroll 2 dice. He's probably a spider web warrior, so he's getting 3rd reroll and skulls. So I think it could be a character that causes some anguish left here and there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yes, I don't think he's overly broken.
I can imagine a web slayer, you bring him and Toad in a list and then depending if like what extracts or secures you're on, if you're playing more extract based, you bring Toad. If you're playing more secure based, you bring Spider-Ham. I can see that happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I mean he's size 1. So he also gets to play the kind of like hide behind a car game if he can.
Like, why does he have a range 4 attack? Like, I know it's just a little 4 dice, but it has a wild shock trigger on it. Like,
wild shock trigger, yep.
Fucking why?
Yep. And he's also got the stun and slow on his builder.
Yeah.
Along with the sizeless push for a crit double hit.
Yeah, which is probably not going to happen, but, you know.
It's not going to happen, but it's the time it does happen that you will like lose your mind. Like, oh my god, you got everything. What is this?
Fuck this character.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought of with him? Him on Fisk, because if you can like him in a list where it's like shock oriented and being on Fisk with the stun, that means he's got guaranteed stagger on his spender.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, I found my new Fisk 2-3.
Or you bring him in Spider Foes with Fisk, and then you have Electro in your list that shocks people so easily. And then you have this little guy. Clearly he's good if you do that much lead up for him.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a 2 threat that staggers people, so why not?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think there's some fun stuff. My biggest hope is that I don't want to see an overly broken character. I see stuff like Spider-Man 2099 with his web. I'm actually comfortable with Spider-Man 2099 having that web.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like on board with that. I don't love it with adding to more webs warrior characters having things like that, because I feel like the displacement just becomes too overwhelming at some point.
Yeah, it gets to be really annoying.
Yeah. So
I have many bad dreams about Scarlet Spider being played against me by Maddox and just being like, God, fuck that guy.
Yep. I mean, he's getting painted for a reason.
Yeah, it really. And I had somebody. What was this? I did the GameStore Guardian when they had the guy on talking about Spider Foes, where you bring Scarlet Spider just against Kingpin, so you can pull like characters off of points. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yep. Nope.
So, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, very strong.
Pull people off, but also then do the webline blast or something where you shoot people from range 4.
Oh, yeah, he has impact webbing too. Yeah,
impact webbing. Yeah, thank you.
He's got impact webbing, web whip, and a throw, so he can displace a shit ton of stuff.
Oh, that's right. He can throw characters. I forgot about that.
Which is why it's fair that he's a medium move and a little power starved, because it's like he can do a shit ton with his cards. You need to reel him in a little bit.
Gosh, I found another character I want to try to fit in.
Yeah, don't sleep on that guy.
Avengers.
He's great. Yeah, I think
I knew he was really pretty good, but I just didn't realize about the character throw on top of everything else.
Yeah, it's got this Protective Spider-Man throw on there, so it's range 3 throw too.
Oh,
don't sleep on Scarlet Spider. I think he's a good splash in a lot of places.
I'll have to take a look at him. Is he 5 on the backside? Yeah, he's 5 on the backside. Okay,
but he has still Spider Senses, so he can reroll.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I mean, he's got good range on everything. He's got the web to move himself around.
He doesn't have great range. He has a range 4 impact web, but everything else is range 2, unfortunately.
I was thinking more of like the fact that he can do web into his attacks. Like he gets a great range in that sense of like he's essentially range 3 as long as you have 2 power.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of like an upgraded Ghost Spider. Like not quite the same, but like you save him for last activation, you go displays a bunch of characters and secret points. Pretty good.
Nope, that makes sense.
So Splash Scarlet Spider.
I'll have to try him out.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on? New stuff coming out? I guess Adam Warlock coming out and stuff like that. I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Adam Warlock. I think the biggest thing going into next year, I'm super excited about Sentinels.
Yeah.
So I think we've probably talked about this once or twice. I love Sentinels. I think they're awesome. But I'm not going to play them if they're where they are right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if they can become something. And truthfully, also Valkyrie and Warriors 3, like that
Valkyrie
might drag me back a little bit.
Valkyrie on Alindiel is probably the thing I'm most excited for starting next year. Just to get and paint that model. I think it's going to be so much fun to paint. I love painting feather and fur texture. Probably one of my favorite things to paint. So I'm really excited to paint that model.
Nice.
And hopefully she's good. Maybe I'll play Asgard. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that would be the one thing that would bring me back if they brought a model out like that really kind of like got me going, essentially.
But what if she was in S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Nope, Asgard.
All right, we'll leave it there. All right, well, then let's close out. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about, John?
No, that's all right. Thank you, though.
All right, cool. So, like always, email us at aliveandone@gmail.com if you have any questions you want to throw at Bork. Join our Discord, chit-chat there. We don't have any active TTS leagues. That was something someone was asking about the other day. That's more of a Bork thing, so bug that guy if you want to do more TTS leagues, and maybe, but I would imagine with his schooling, probably not anytime soon. Like us on Facebook, that's one that I manage, so I can actually go in there and actually manage and message people with, and I do post on there every once in a while. A lot more active than our Instagram that no one manages anymore. So like us on Facebook. Go find Jen at RSMP for his Red Room training videos. I know he has plans for one in the near future. You got anywhere? Oh my gosh, can't talk. Do you have anywhere that people want to find you, John, or are you just?
You can find me in the Live and One Discord. I think that's probably the best one right now. I'm also just to promote, you know what, if we're going to talk about events, the TTS League for the Marvel Crisis Protocol, it just finished up its new season. We're going to be starting off the next one. You can play on any coast, any country. They have all different areas to play up, and at the end of the year, they're going to do a big 64 tournament with the top players. Ooh. So if you can win one, get in there, have some fun.
That's true.
But it's a great time to mess around and try different stuff because you can change your list every round.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really nice.
Yep.
That's really cool. I don't play TTS that much, but maybe. Awesome. Well, this says Godspeed Unicorn Dance Party. Not doing that because that's supposed to be for X-Force. Spoilers. The next episode should be X-Force if people come back. We'll say Godspeed 5-head. Boom. There you go.
Godspeed 5-head.